Welcome to Bronco Build Day 6. Today we're going to install the AWE 0FG Catback exhaust. Welcome to the Never-Ending Weekend. Like all my other installations, I'm not going to go through a complete step-by-step install. I'm just going to stop where I have some issues or find some notes that you guys might be interested in. I was surprised to see how tucked up the stock exhaust was. It's almost the same level as the tow hook, and same with the muffler. It's almost the same level as the hitch receiver. If you look at it right straight on, it's pretty close. I just cut off the top of this box from AWE. I thought it was really interesting how they packaged it. It's just a load of paper, packing paper, which is actually pretty good because I was moving it around and flipping it over and nothing inside was moving, and I was kind of wondering how they packaged it. Packaged well, really well. Did not move an inch. Just have a lot of recycling. So here's everything laid out. The exhaust comes in 3 configurations. One is a corner exit 5-inch tip, one is a dual 4.5-inch tip exhaust, and one is no tip, and that's the one I picked, the one with just the bash guard. Seemed like on some of the other online reviews the tips kind of made the exhaust note resonate a little bit louder, but the idea of pulling on and off the exhaust tips when I was going to go off-roading felt like a really cumbersome chore, so I decided just to forego any exhaust tip and just have the bash guard. I guess they call it the bash guard because it's reinforced and it'll probably help not get dinged up if it gets hit. And because there's no exhaust, it's tucked up really nicely under the bumper. This is the over axle pipe, so it's out of the way. Yeah, it looks like a pretty simple install. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long to put it together. It comes with these really nice thick Ziplocs that I'll be putting in my Ziploc drawer. And interestingly, they include this lollipop, but I don't know who would eat one of these packaged with an exhaust. The install looks pretty straightforward, so hopefully it won't take me too long. Let's get started. So here's the stock exhaust. It's pretty massive. Looks like I just have to loosen up some of the attachment points. There's one here in the mid pipe. It's located differently in the instructions, but it might be a picture from the 4-door, and then back here as well, going to the engine. Good thing I got the Sasquatch package. Gives me a little bit more wiggle room down here. First, I'm just going to lubricate all the attachment points to the stock exhaust, just so that everything is easier to remove. Okay, so the first little hiccup I've run into is getting these rubber hangers off. The ends are bigger, I guess, to help keep them on, so that you have to kind of squeeze them through this rubber. So it's taking me a little bit. I'm using pliers and trying to squeeze it out. There are special tools for this. I don't know if I would buy it just for a one-time use, but you may want to consider it if you don't want to fool around with this for too long. Just noticed this is kind of cool. OFG exhaust, performance unlocked. The rest of the install went pretty quick, but as you can see, it got dark really quick as well. I got to really start checking my watch before I start these projects, but regardless, I'm about to add on the over pipe now. I think it's going to go pretty quick. So that's 2 out, 1 to go. Oh, sheesh. These rubber grommets. I changed my mind. Buy the special tool. It'll be worth it. Oh, so close. So far. It's a tight tolerance. Foosball. It's never easy. Oh, that's it for tonight, man. So the tolerance on these 2 pieces, the bash guard and the over axle pipe, is so tight that trying to get it on under the car was hard, so I removed it. So this is maybe a tip for the more inexperienced, is do a fitment test before you start installing pieces. Make sure everything fits together, because obviously there's some leeway in the tolerances. A ton of WD-40 later, it's all put together, and now it's just tightening everything up. So here's a stock muffler. This is just an extension piece for the 4-door that I didn't need. They just package it in the same way whether you have a 4-door or 2-door. But that's a stock muffler, just as a comparison to what the AWE exhaust is like. Overall, the installation was pretty straightforward, even though I didn't make it seem like that. The new piping here, the new tubing, is 3 inches in diameter. The old is 2 5/8, the stock. This is the resonator here. It attaches to the headers over there. So it's basically those bolts and then 3 hangers. That one, and then 2 on the muffler side. If you're just doing the bash plate, you don't need the 3rd one. And if it wasn't for the fitment issues, the tight tolerances, it wouldn't have taken so long. But overall, I think I spent 3 hours. But it really saves a lot of space down here. It tucks up really neat over the rear axle. And if you look at it straight on, you barely can see that. I mean, that's straight on right there. You can barely see the pipe sticking out from underneath. Let's do a sound check. That is surprisingly loud. When I first saw reviews online of the AWE exhaust, it didn't really impress me as being overly loud, even though maybe the reviewers were verbally saying it sounded great. It didn't come across through in the video, but now that it's on and I'm listening to it, I'm thinking it's maybe a bit too loud. I wanted to get the tips originally because it seemed like it amplified the noise, but I'm glad I didn't. I don't know if this will come through the video, but even in the cabin, it is pretty loud. Yeah, I'm glad that it's this loud, I guess. It really is 0 F's given. And I'm wondering if it's going to bother my neighbors at all. But I mean, it's not crazy loud, but it is significantly louder than stock. Overall, pretty straightforward installation. If you have your act together, you could probably get it done in under 2 hours. I'm hoping I'm just going to get used to the volume of the exhaust. I probably will. It's probably just in stark contrast to what it sounded like before, so it kind of surprised me. I do really like the sound of the exhaust. I'm hoping as it breaks in, there'll be some more pops and burbles. But otherwise, the worst thing about getting an aftermarket exhaust is I don't know what to do with the stock one. It's too nice to throw away, and probably no one will want to buy it. So, but if you are in the market, let me know. Otherwise, have a great weekend, everyone.